Alrighty, good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Alive with Chris Austin. I am so excited to be here on another episode because in a moment I'm going to bring on my guest for this evening. But before I do that, I'm going to take a couple minutes to have a couple people join us, and I'm also going to take a couple minutes, okay, to share it to some pages that I know that people want to be able to share it. So if you want to go ahead and take a minute to share it to your pages, that's always a good support. And as we're getting ready to join, I want everybody to know that the reason that I do this show is because I love to illuminate humanity, and I love to bring people on that are making a difference in our world. And it starts with them, and then it radiates out into their families, and then their communities, and then the world. So every week I bring somebody on here that I want you to know, that I want you to be a part of and get to know them and what they're up to. And this next guest, I'm extremely excited to share with you about this next guest because I have had the privilege and the honor to be able to be a part of her program for several months now. So with no further ado, I would like for you to meet Connie Kean. Come on camera, Connie. Connie is the founder and the creator of Quantum Energy Infusion, also known as QEI. And I am thrilled to have you here with us tonight. So how you doing, Connie?
Terrific. Thank you, Chris. This is so exciting for us to get to come back. I was your very first guest, and that was a blast. So I can't imagine what's going to happen this time.
Yeah, I mean, I got a cat and I got a graphic. I mean, life is good, right? Since the last time you've been on. So I think it's going to be a blast. So I do want to let everybody know that as we have people joining us this evening, you're not going to want to miss this because we actually have a super special offer about everything that Connie and myself are up to with QEI and what we're doing. So, but you got to be willing to watch the show in order to get this huge like quantum offer that we're offering you tonight. And also at any time throughout this episode, this interview, if you have any questions or comments that anything Connie's speaking into or anything you want answered about like anything she's talking about, please feel free to put it in the comments, ask a question, put in the comments, and I'll make sure that I get it over to Connie. Okay. So hey Sharon, hey Rafe, hey Meredith, hey Angie, great to see you all on here. So Connie, so here we are, right? So QEI, what does that mean?
Quantum energy infusion. So when I started creating this program, I knew that it was quantum, which means everything in the now, if you will, quantum, everything in the now. And it was all about energy. And it infuses your life with its intelligence, its vitality, and its power. And the business coach I was working with said, you can't call it that. And I said, but that's the name of it. She said, no, you can't call it that because people won't know what it means. And I said, I'll tell them what it means. So it's so interesting that in terms of a coaching model or what seems normal or acceptable in the business world or the marketing world, just I didn't care because it's what the program is. It's what it does. This program infuses your life with the intelligence, the vitality, and the power of the quantum field. And what's really cool is not only is it part education and part experience, but so the experience part is where you learn how to engage the quantum field and work with the energy and raise your frequency. And then the educational part is we have 10 modules of information just in level 1 alone that teaches you about your energy system. You have chakras, you have meridians, you have a force field or an auric field that extends out from your body. You have radiant circuits, we have rings, infinity rings. There are so many energy systems that make you who you are. So then we teach you how to organize that energy that is you. How do you clear it? How do you balance it? How do you strengthen it? So it's this massive educational component, an enormous experiential component. And when you bring them together, it's quantum energy infusion.
How about that? Right? It's everything that she said. And it's so powerful because I have been so honored to be a student of Connie's. How long have I been doing this? I don't even know. How long has it
Well,
been?
8 months, probably 8 months.
Yeah, so I have committed and dedicated 8 months of my life, and I just signed on for 6 more months of being a student to become an energy consultant. Right, I'm in her third level of her course, and there's no place else that I'd rather want to be because, like she said, it's powerful. So not only am I able to like create things in my own life, I know that I'm making a difference for others at the same time too, and that's a whole other category we can go down. But I want everyone to understand, because so many times like we think that we understand what energy is, or when we talk about the chakras or something like that. This is a whole new level of like really diving deep into it. So how would you explain to people that like how everything is energy?
Oh, well, if you remember back in science class and you first learned about the atom, and I can remember my science teacher, Mr. McGee, I can remember Mr. McGee saying, and that atom is 99.99% air. And we're all sat there like, what did that even mean? Well, the only matter, the 0.01% of that atom that was matter was the nucleus and the protons and the neutrons and the electrons going around. But honestly, it was all air. Well, Mr. McGee, it's actually energy. It's not just air. When you think about it, and of course, we learned the atom was the building block of everything. Couple atoms make a molecule, couple molecules make some tissue makes an organ. Next thing you know, you got skin. Next thing you know, you've got a coyote or a human being or an amoeba, right? And this body of yours, the matter is compressed energy. It's atoms. And in 2021, we have new ways to talk about energy. We can talk about quarks. We can talk about waves and particles and how light shows up and how when we observe it, we affect it. So get me into the quantum thing and it's a whole nother show. But for right now, everything is energy when you understand back from from the last century when we talked about atoms and how literally that atom is almost 100% energy. The tiniest bit of it is matter, to use those terms.
Yep. So only all the time, right? So we have Emily. Great to see you. That's my friend from so many years. Great to have you on here. You would love this, Emily. I'm just saying, keep listening. This is your thing. Angie Oz, Chris Austin, and Connie Kean. Y'all, it's about to go off. And Angie's saying, chakras is just the beginning. This is well said, Connie. Beautiful picture painted and what QEI is. QuantumEnergyInfusion.com. Crash course into everything energy. That's what Angie's saying.
That's right, crash course. It is a crash course into everything energy.
Yeah. So what would you say like to people that maybe are watching that they're like, oh, I know everything there is, right? Like I know I've done all this work, like I'm an energy worker, right? Like, I know how to do this stuff. What would you say to people like to take it to the next level?
Well, what I say to those people is you don't need my program. Actually, when they're interviewing with me on the phone or they're calling, and I'm like, you don't really need my program. You already know all the stuff. But I think I want to take it. Well, come on board. So nobody was more surprised than me when all of these professional energy practitioners started showing up because they were so curious about what we are doing. Mm-hmm. And it took their game to the next level. And they're already professional. In fact, I have a woman now who is a professional practitioner. She's becoming a certified QEI consultant. She's only learned one thing out of 2.5 levels of our entire program that she did not already know. And she is so in love with the program and so convinced that this is the most effective way to teach about energy and to do energy that she has stepped into our entire year-long program, all of the training, everything, and she already knew it all. And that's just one person.
Yeah, it's powerful and it's amazing. And some of you might be watching and going, I don't even know what they're talking about, like chakra energy or like I've been wanting to dip my toe in this, but you might be having the conversation of like, I don't have what it takes or I don't have experience in it. Like, what would you say to people like that really are interested in this, but yet they haven't dipped their toe yet?
Well, that's who I wrote the program for. Right. I literally wrote the program for the person that knows nothing. And our target market was a certain age and women over 50, especially, whose energy is scattered in their lives between their career generations of family and volunteering, you know who you are, right? You're in the sandwich generation. You're trying to get your work done. You've got this beautiful career. You love the volunteer. You're all about your family, and your energy is scattered all over the place. This is how you gather it back in. This is how you center and ground your energy, how you operate from your highest self, how you learn to be fully present in this now moment, operating with all of your energy that's coming from you, not coming from all these other places and all the different points in your life where you've left pieces of yourself. And those women didn't know anything. I mean, and this is who I wrote it for. I talk about it in the simplest terms. And I don't use woo-woo terms. I use physics terms. I use very simple, basic science terms. I use, if there's a language that goes with it, for example, like from a yogic tradition, I will use the word chakra. If there's like meridian from the traditional Chinese medicine model, I use a lot of the words that they use. And then there's some things I've updated and used 21st century language that we've created.
Sure.
And yeah.
And,
so
and,
that
and along with like QEI and the energy work, I want people to know that you start to learn these amazing daily practices, right? These amazing daily practices that actually you utilize throughout your day, right? That like if somebody cuts you off in traffic, if your boss, you know, or you get in like whatever, and there you learn these practices that when things happen in life, it actually centers you and regrounds you, which brings me to Rafe's question. He's saying, what's your daily practice like, and how long did it take you to get to that point?
Yeah, that's beautiful. Okay, so a daily practice. So I have a joke that we tell. It's a good news, bad news joke. And the good news is I'm a piano teacher. I've been a piano teacher for 42 years. I know how to teach things. I know how to teach you to go from one step to the next to the next. I know how the brain works. I know how to develop neural pathways for your brain and your body and get things in your subconscious. And the bad news is I'm a piano teacher. So you have to practice. And that is how we are so successful in quantum energy infusion, because we lay it out step by step by step, everything, the concepts that I have built in this program, with every single thing in mind, building a neural pathway, a stronger one, neuroplasticity, all of this, balancing the right brain and the left brain, the bridge between the brains, and then all the things that are simultaneous at once. All of that has gone into how I have built this. And then when we practice, so these different, so Rafe wants to know what my daily energy practice looks
Yeah,
like.
and how long did it take you to get to that point?
Well, it's taken me 26 years to get to this point. However, the thing that I do every day that I love is I balance my chakras. And that took me one day to learn. When I was studying to be a Reiki master 26 years ago in Jakarta, Indonesia. Now, I lived in Asia, and I did my training, my energetic training in Asia. So at the same time, I studied yoga taught by Eastern instructors. I studied breathing and breath techniques, and I studied meditation, and I studied Reiki. So I was completely immersed in Eastern thought, in Eastern methodology, and in the energy. And that was back when I had to be an apprentice for a year before she would initiate me as a Reiki master. You know, it wasn't a quick weekend in LA where I went through all 3 levels for Reiki training. It cost, I don't even know how much in modern day dollars it cost, but it cost $11,500 26 years ago in Asia for me to get certified as a Reiki master. So I learned it in a different way than people do it now. And I teach it in a different way than people do now. So in answer to Rafe's question, so it took me 26 years. However, the favorite thing I do, literally, I learned in one day, and I still do it every day, and that's to balance my chakras. And we teach that in module 6. I also do energy exercises where I stretch open my body every day so the energy can flow freely through my meridian system. I do breath work. I spend 1 hour every morning when I'm awake before I get out of bed. I balance my chakras. I do a life force breath where I breathe all the way up through my body and out through what I call the life force highway, that channel that runs up and down the body. I meditate. I receive energy. I commune with ascended masters. I channel ascended masters and I commune with them. Oftentimes they will give me an energy infusion. Now that's too much for you. We can step it back. That is part of my daily practice though. I am multi-dimensional.
And those are you that are going, Did she just say that? Yes, she did. And it's for real. So if that intrigues you, you can take that to a whole new level too.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. I did just say that. And I have a website to prove it. So
Yeah.
anyway, so my daily practice looks like an hour's worth of energy before I ever put my feet on the floor. And then during the day, I work with the energy all day long, y'all. I mean, and if boy, if something pisses me off, boy, I'm like, woo, I'm gonna let go of that. Before you know it, I'm doing an energy technology. I don't stay upset. I don't let anything settle into my body. You know, that dark, heavy energy settles into your body, and next thing you know, it's vibrating slowly, and then it's affecting your tissue, and you might have some kind of dis-ease in your body because that low functioning energy got stuck in there. Boy, I don't let that happen. I move it out. I do that. I do this. We teach 12 quantum quickies that help you move your energy in 1 minute or less. And that's just in the first level one. I don't even know how many we teach in
And,
level two.
and here's the thing, y'all. Like, I am firsthand a student, like she said, for like, if I don't even, I see, I already forgot, like like a while now, right? 8 months, and then I just committed to another 6 months, and I know that this is going to be a lifelong like thing that I choose, because to me it's such a great way of bringing Eastern and Western and so many different modalities, like for mental, spiritual, physical, emotional health, like all of this stuff. Like, I've had one heck of a year, and let me tell you that I don't think I could have really handled it the way that I handled it without having these things that Connie's talking about, like learning and practicing and incorporating it into my life. Because so many times, like, we start to learn, right? So we're three dimension, right? So maybe we can talk about this a little bit, Connie.
Sure.
So human beings, we operate in like out of being three dimensional. So and then you just said step into like the fifth dimension. So Connie and I, along with Francine Ray, like, we have been working for your 10 Life and AMP trainings to be like a fifth dimensional company. Now, you might be sitting here going, what is this third dimension? What is this fifth dimension? And what does all of this mean? Because up until now, right, and a lot of people, like, this is a little out there, right, for people that like are like, what do you mean you talk to your ascended masters? Or what do you mean, like you're able to like connect with spirit world, or just have that intuition and that feeling? So how would you explain to people the third and fifth dimensions?
Oh, I'd love to talk about that. Well, and this is, I knew about third dimension for a long time, just in terms of 3D reality, right? If you think about it that way. And I'd heard about the fifth dimension. I hadn't really experienced though. And when I started knowing that I was, I'm going to say channeling someone that was famous, and my biggest healing guide is Mary of Magdala. So Mary of Magdala and I communicate. And once my frequency got high enough that I could listen to her and she could communicate with me, and when I say frequency, I can talk about that next. Then she told me about the celestial realm and the earthly realm. So first she and Jesus as an ascended master, I also communicate with him. Buddha comes in, Kuan Yin comes in. So there's a lot of masters that you might, this is not some Christian show I'm talking about here. This is as ascended masters. There's no religion at all with any of this. Anyway, so and Jesus especially calls it the celestial realm. And then he said, and that's the fifth dimension and the third dimension. So years and years ago, they told me that there was a shift coming. When I had really had it, I was like, really, how long is man's inhumanity? How long are we going to be doing this? I can't believe it. Let's get this fixed, you know? And he said, well, actually, there is a shift coming. It's a shift in consciousness, and it's coming in your lifetime. And those of you who have incarnated now are here for this purpose. And I was like, whoa, I could totally get on board with that. So I've been calling it the shift. Now, of course, 10 years ago when I was talking about this, people thought I was pretty nuts, but nobody thinks I'm crazy now in 2020. People are calling it physical ascension. They're calling it the Great Awakening. They're calling it all kinds of stuff. They're calling it chaos. And it's part of the unraveling of the third dimension so that we can up level to the fifth dimension. So the way my masters describe it to me is that we are shifting the levels of consciousness. So my mission is raising the collective consciousness to peaceful coexistence. I want it to be the frequency of peaceful coexistence. So yeah, we can all live on this planet together and coexist and honor one another. Well, that is going to happen in my lifetime, and everything I do is to that end. I am driven by that vision of peaceful coexistence, and I hold the space for that, and I raise my frequency constantly using energy work to do that. Now, what do I mean by raise my frequency? Well, your meat sac, remember, this matter, this compressed energy that's matter, has a frequency to it, has a vibration to it. And when the more energy work I do on my meat sac, the higher the frequency it can hold. So I work with energy to release lower vibrating frequencies. You'll learn how to do this in the program. Everybody does this. I release those lower vibrating frequencies and fill up with the life force energy, and which is the quantum field, which has the intelligence that has, it's the same intelligence that turns an acorn into an oak tree. It's that energy, which has its own innate intelligence. And we fill you and your body with that. We fill your energy systems with that. Your chakra systems is a fifth dimension system, energy system that is contained within your meat sac, if you will, at different places in your body. Sure. So to continue on with third dimension and fifth dimension, Dr. David Hawkins has actually, and let me reach over here and see if I can grab this graphic really quick, Chris. Dr. David Hawkins talks about a map of consciousness that he has. Oh, it's not in here. Oh, I don't have it. Okay.
So funny, I was just going to say, like, let's talk about the map of consciousness and what that is, because it's actually revolutionary, right? To where we can actually shift what's happening in our lifetime.
Totally. So the map of consciousness, I was going to see if it was in this file. No, the map of consciousness is from 0 to 1,000 different levels of consciousness that man has. And 0 is it being lowest, of course. 20 is shame. We have shame, despair, fear, hopelessness, courage. Then we go up, and once you're at 200, the level of 200, which is courage, you are self-empowered. So from courage, we go up to neutrality, which is 250. And then we go to 310, which is willingness. So once you get to willingness, all of a sudden in the 300s, you start to open up to other possibilities. And then we go into acceptance at 350. By 400, you're in reason. By 500, you're in love, which is unconditional love, not I love you because I'm married to you, unconditional love for the planet, for the people, for all beings. 540 is joy, 600 is peace. And actually I have rated gratitude in at 650. That's where that tests for me. And then 700 to 1,000 is enlightenment, folks. And he talks about all these different levels. And what we do in quantum energy infusion is we measure your frequency when you come in. And every week that you're in our program, we measure your frequency every single week. And we watch how your frequency, when you drop those lower vibrating frequencies, those old thoughts, behaviors, actions, all that old crap you've been carrying around with you, traumas from your childhood, traumas from your marriage, traumas, who doesn't have those, right? And I've been married.
What you're talking about. My life is perfect. Just kidding. Yes. Yes.
Life, I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, so and I want to say that I've had a personal experience of watching my number just climb and climb and climb and climb, because when you put in the work, when you put in the effort, and when you stay consistent, like, it only goes up, right? And we haven't had anyone come down, right? In QEI, like it only goes up. And I'm telling you, the way that it's had me be able to handle different things, to deal with different things. And, and you might want to say, so when you're speaking of like 300, 500, 700, like maybe you can tell them of what you mean, like that is.
Okay, sure. So 300, when you are frequency of willingness, I'm willing to be willing. Things can start happening. If you're willing, your mind is open. And all of a sudden you become the context. You are a high enough frequency that if you are willing to learn something new, to do something new, to think something new, to embrace something new, to desire something new you've never desired before, you are the energy of willingness. You exude that energy because it's your new context. To use the training language, you are the context of willingness. And that frequency that you put out is met by like frequencies. We all talk about the law of attraction and everybody's like, oh yeah, well, if I think about it long enough, it'll come. Well, okay, not really, because physics, like attracts like. A like frequency attracts another like frequency. So if you're choosing to be joyful and you attract joy, everybody loves the law of attraction when it works like that. If you're experiencing shame or despondency or anger and you're attracting other anger, nobody wants to admit the law of attraction works there. That's no fun.
Right.
Joy is a lot of fun. And both are true. It's a law. So if you are the frequency, if you're vibrating at 310, 320, 330, and that's your resonance, and you're exuding that, the frequency of you as it expresses in the world is that resonance, and you will draw like experiences to you.
And it matters, right? It matters, like we hear it all the time in our pop culture, like my vibe, right? My vibe attracts your tribe, like, in my vibe, or that I don't vibe with them, or I don't get their vibe. But what Connie's saying is, like, you matter, right? Like, who you're being, like, from a cellular level matters in this world, and you're going to start to see different things shift, right, in your life, and maybe things like that used to, like, get under your skin aren't going to really bother you so much anymore, because you start to up, like, this frequency, and it's a beautiful thing to be a part of. Because again, if you're listening and you're watching this and you're intrigued by this, and you want to know more, like, remember, keep watching, because we have this insane quantum offer that we're going to offer you on here. And yeah, Emily, I know you're loving this already. I'm telling you, this is your thing. You say you've been self-teaching yourself about it. This is like the place for you to be. I don't even know other saying, like, I know different things like that you're sometimes up against, and this would support in all of it. Angie's saying we are multi-dimensional beings having human experiences, quantum. And then Rafe is saying, where do you see quantum energy infusion within the next 5 years, Connie?
Oh, wow. I see quantum energy infusion going nationwide in the transformational community by the end of 2021. So I believe that by the end of this year, we will be nationwide in transformational training centers. In 5 years, we will be fully in corporate America, QEI corporate, because I have a vision about how we can step into the corporate world with these trainings. And I have a vision that a corporate world, in fact, every corporation, every awake corporation will offer these energy practices to their people, that they will all have weekly energy sessions available to them to keep their energy this way, that they will literally make time to do the energy exercises as a corporation. And that energy practitioner then can work itself all the way up to be chief energetic officer. I believe that in my vision,
how cool is that
there's going to be a C-suite, there's going to be a chief executive officer and a chief energetic officer, along with chief financial officer and chief technical officer,
Uh-oh, your internet froze. Your internet froze, but I heard chief energy everything is what I heard, right? Chief energy everything. And I want you to think about that, right? Like, I want you to, like, really grasp what Connie's speaking into, because I want you to think about how if we get this in every corporation, if we get this into schools, if we start this with our youth, right? Like, in all this, and we have somebody that might be stepping into that. So stay tuned for that, right? To, like, where we go with the QEI, with the teens and all of these things. But I want you to think about it. And that's why in my company, we are on our path to being a fifth dimensional company, right? Because we get the impact that it creates in other people's lives. So, like, we are actually one of the first, right? That are saying, yes, Connie, show us the way, right? Like, show us the way, guide us. And then we know that our work environment can only thrive and can only grow, because I do want to say this, right? That, and again, what I love about you, Connie, and the way that you do this work is you marry the medical field with the energy work in a way, saying you never tell people, you're like, go to the doctor. If you got to go to the doctor, go to the doctor. Like, don't ever, like, do what you got to do. And I can speak for myself. I was just telling Connie this, like, I went to the doctor today. Now, I'll speak vulnerably here. Like, I usually am severely anemic. I have some thyroid stuff. I'm vitamin D deficient, like all this stuff. And it's been a struggle and a challenge with me for about 3 years, where I need all these iron infusions, medications, and I don't have it anymore. I am no longer anemic. Like they said that my medication probably has to be lowered and maybe even come off of it. The vitamin D is on point, like all of this stuff. And I have done nothing different but step into energy work. And I said to Connie, like on a cellular level, like I'm healing myself. And I know that. Now, a couple things have popped up and I said, and I don't feel defeated. Like I actually am at it like, oh, great. Now I'll work on that energetically and in my body and work with that. So it creates this optimistic outlet in one's life too, that I'm in control, meaning like that I have the power to take my life into my own hands. Like, does that make sense what I'm saying? Like through energy.
And I can speak into that a little further. We, in quantum energy infusion, we don't tell you to come here and heal yourself. We say, come here, get your energy systems in balance, clear them, strengthen them, harmonize them. And when your energy is in balance, your body's going to work better, your brain works better, your emotions process smoother, everything works better because everything is energy. And it has the impact, and we are so careful. We're sitting right in the middle. Quantum energy infusion is a brand new thing, y'all. We're bringing it in. We sit at the center point. Here's traditional Chinese medicine. We bring in the quantum aspects. Here's the yogic traditions. We bring in the quantum part, right? Here is the medical model. We bring in quantum aspects of that. And when you think about all the different meditation, prayer work, we bring in all the quantum aspects of each of these traditions and modalities, and boom, and then we have you practice those every day. How can you not get better?
Right. And think about that. So if like you meditate, you journal, you do all this stuff, like imagine like bringing it all together, and then whatever other practices, you have in your life, it all benefits. And so yeah, Emily's like, I'm getting goosebumps. Yeah, you should try an energy session and then it'll knock your socks off. I mean, I've never felt so amazing in my life, and like especially when you're in the middle of a class. I mean, it's just like phenomenal. Hey Richard, hey Mariana, great to see you. Angie's saying, in all of the high frequencies and dimensions, especially in the 3D, what's possible for people interested in creating a career out of energy work, or people that are already experienced energy practitioners within QEI? Like what's available for people?
Well, so there's level 1, level 2, and level 3. And there's all of the training that comes with that. There's the experience of level 1, then level 2 goes deeper. Level 1's 8 weeks, level 2's 12 weeks, level 3 is 6 months. I mean, it's a year-long program if you choose to go all the way through it. And if you choose then to become certified, level 3 plus the certification track, you become a QEI certified consultant, and she's speaking to a career. So you can, if you don't choose to be a QEI certified consultant, you can bring all of these energy practices, technologies, techniques into your personal practice. I had a studio as a private energy practitioner for the last 26 years. So you can bring those into your private studio and use them with your clients. And if you want to work for us, because we're exploding and we get to train people to go out and represent us and to train our programs in other transformational centers, in schools. And y'all haven't even heard the best part yet. In corporate America, my nonprofit is going to be QEI Kids.
How cool is that?
We're going to work with the elementary school children. And I want to work with the YMCAs, with after school programs, with big brothers and sisters, and with boys clubs and girls clubs. I want it all to bring it to unserved youth, to underserved youth. And we're going to make sure that we can turn a profit enough to have a big impact. So when I talk about profit, I'm talking about we're going to have an impact. We're going to bring it to the kids. And when we get it to the kids, we're done in one generation.
Yeah.
Because they got it.
Yeah, because even like, and it's so great. I mean, even the nonprofit, and that's what we're talking about, that I am studying right now to become a consultant, right? A certified energy consultant for QEI. And I can't wait to be able to do that. You know me, especially my background being like in education and all that, like to me, that is like, and then we start to learn, like, and there's one exercise, and I'm not going to spoil it for you because you get to take the class, but there's this exercise we learn that we can actually release generational things that have been passed on to us for generation upon generation. And even if you're a parent and you have children, that you can prevent it from taking over your child's life, like in this moment too, and like get rid of that. So I mean, this is how powerful this work is. And if you're still watching, there's something that interests you, right? There's something that's calling to you. And like I said, it's a certain amount of weeks. You take an hour and a half, 2 hours, right, like a night for you, and it's like the most amazing thing ever. And I say all the time, like, you buy this coffee, you buy the shoes, you buy this, you buy that, like, invest in something for you and for your generations to come in your family. And then when you start to really understand what your loved ones are up to, it creates this connection and this. And I'm excited because stuff like this is becoming, I don't want to use the word mainstream yet, but like, I know I turned on the TV the other day and they're talking about crystals and chakras and how to heal your body. And I'm like, yes, right? Like I'm watching that, but like, it's so powerful what Connie has created. And and I want to say for you, Connie, like, you have worked your butt off, right, to get where you are. You have worked your butt off, you have put in the work, you sincerely and genuinely care about people, like,
Yes.
that you just want them to live like their best life, that they want. And so, why I'm so adamant about you doing this specific energy course with Connie is because your heart is taken care of, your mind is taken care of, and you have somebody that has your back for life. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. It's not just a business to make money for Connie. It is a way of life, and that she truly cares about peacefully coexisting and like taking this to the next level so that our world doesn't have hate, that our world doesn't have war, that like people that there's not discrimination. We don't even know what that word means because it vibrates out of our dictionary, things like that. Right, so this is what this woman stands for. And there's nobody else that I would say to even go dip your toe in. And if you do it, great, you're amazing, but I don't know you. Right, like I'm saying, like Connie like is gonna, she's the one, right? And QEI, and everyone that works for QEI is amazing, is transformational, like cares about you, is gonna like serve you to the highest potential. And another thing, like Connie said, what she paid to be like to do energy work and a Reiki master years ago, Connie has made this affordable for people to be able to step into this. She even offers payment plans, right? To be able to allow you to do this, because that's how much she cares about it. Because in my eyes, this could be, we're so much more financially if it was about that. So like, if money is a conversation that's stopping you, just let us know. Let us know, and we'll see what we can create, because it's not about, I'm speaking for you, but I think that lands, right? It's not about the money. It's not about that. So so let's see what else we have. I love what Chris brought up about the generational energy healing. So imperative. Connie, Kean, and QI is all about living life quantum and living your best life. Connie's committed to creating the 2%, which when you join QEI, you're forever family. So lots of times in transformational work, when we talk about the 2%, because there might be some people watching that are like, what is that? Well, it's exactly everything Connie's talking about, that we believe that it takes a certain percent. It's actually been scientifically proven and studied that it takes a certain number of people in the population, that we call it critical mass, the tipping point, that if a certain amount of people get to a certain conscious level, that you can actually like shift the context, like in what sees. And we have examples of this like throughout history, to where people have actually took a stand, right, and said, no more, not on my watch. But Connie's saying that we can energetically create that just by doing these 12 quantum quickies a day she's talking about, just by stepping into this work. And this is the power of it. So like, if chakra work, if healing, if I did want to ask you, Connie, how would you quickly, because we have about five or so minutes left, because earlier you mentioned meridians a couple of times. How would you explain to somebody like what a meridian is?
Oh, I'd love to talk into that. This is from traditional Chinese medicine, and y'all, it's been around for 5,000 years. Okay, so it is a healing tradition in China, and it has to do with qi. I'm sure you've heard that word, and maybe you know about qigong or some other martial art things where the qi moves through the body. And meridians are rivers of qi, rivers of energy that flow through the body in a predictable pattern. And these rivers of energy feed your organs. So you have a kidney meridian, you have a liver meridian, you have a heart meridian, all right? You have a lung meridian, and they carry the energy that feeds this organ. And they all hook together in one big, long Amazon-like river that goes through your body. And we teach you how to work with your meridians. We teach you how to have them free flowing. We teach you how to enhance your energetic being and by making sure this energy, this chi flows properly through your meridian system, thereby feeding your organs. And you're going to have a healthier body. You just are, because your organs are being fed that vital life force chi that they must have to function properly.
So see, everything Connie says is just cool. It's just cool. It's just amazing. And it's like, why wouldn't you be a part of it? And then another thing, in case you haven't noticed, animals really dig it. This is my cat, Archie. And like I was just telling Connie earlier, I'm like, look, he wasn't in my office for, I said, 2.5 hours. He hears your voice and he's like, ping. And like he jumps up and he's part of this interview. But like you learn to do this even on animals, right? So if you got fur babies and you love animals, like you start to learn to where you can actually incorporate this into your fur babies, your animals. Like if you're a veterinarian, like how cool is that to be able to take like that into your practice for animals? Like I would send my cat to you, heck yeah. Right? Like stuff like that. So it's just a really cool thing. And so let's talk about it. So we have a huge special tonight that we're going to extend to anyone that is watching this live or re-watches it and to the very end, right? And you see this, that we're going to offer a huge discount code because Connie and I have a similar vision that we want to make a difference in the world and we want peace in our lifetime. And so that's why we're doing this, because it's fun and we can and we want to do it and offer it to you with Alive with Chris Austin and with QEI. We really want to come together and offer this. So why don't we talk about what the regular price is, what we're offering tonight, and what that entails.
Absolutely. So Quantum Energy Infusion Program 1, Level 1, is what we spoke into tonight. It has 10 modules of instruction in it. It has 8 group energy sessions, 90-minute group energy sessions that go with it over the course of 8 weeks. And you will have access to this program for life. It has all different aspects. It has a written content. It has Level 2 has 138 pages of written content. I haven't counted the pages in Level 1. I guess I could do that. Has almost 40 videos in Level 1 where you learn all of this information. And again, you'll have access to the content for life. It sells for $2,500. And what I'm offering to Chris, because you're her people, we are offering $1,100 off. If you pay in full, it's $1,397. If you want a payment plan, it's $1,497. So we are offering even $1,000 off for the payment plan. And we want to do this because, the value lies in the $2,500 and all of the value is there. We can do this because Chris is offering us you guys. Here we have a warm audience. We have a captive audience. Do you have any marketing dollars? This is saving me by Chris offering our program to you. So what I want you to understand is this isn't a $1,400 program that I'm saying is worth $25. This is a $2,500 program that brings every penny of that value plus more, actually, based on most of the people that have taken it and what they say. And because of Chris's generosity, we can make this incredible offer. And it's about the reach. It's so important to me to expand our reach, to get to that 2%. And this is how we do it. And then once we've reached you and you get to reach your friends. So it's about reaching out there. And it's an investment you're making in yourself. You are making a $1,500 investment in you, in your life, in your family. You won't believe what this is going to do for you at work. You won't believe how people respond to you differently. You're not going to believe what it does to your family, to the impact it has on your family. And then the impact that you're going to have on the world with this higher vibrating frequency that you are now showing up every day into the world, affecting the collective. It's incredible what this investment is, not just in you, it's in your family, it's in your career, and it's in the world. And we are so excited to be here and to know that people that already get it. It's my guess that if you're here watching Chris Austin, you understand about the 2%, or at least you're curious if you don't know what it means yet.
Or you got that vibe that you're here because you're my people.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah. And we're all about transformation. Literally, I wrote this program as a program of transformation through energetic technologies.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and thank you, Connie, for being so gracious and offering that, to people that are a part of my life and that are watching, because there's people on here like, hey, Michelle, you would love this. I mean, this is so up your alley. It's not even funny. Like, it's like your thing. And, to me, now I've been in the work of transformation, which is crazy. I'm going on year 11. Time flies, right? Professionally been doing it for 7 years. I mean, it's just crazy. And I say that this is the next level and is taking me to the next level in different areas. And I can't wait to see what 2021 brings, because I'm already seeing the shift in it, right? And I know that it's from this work. And I say that to you because all of you that are on here, you've been steady on here throughout this whole show. And I'm going to say this: any questions, call me, write to me, like, let me know. I know Connie available too, like, and we'll let you know where you can find her, right? To like, you can ask any questions. But if there's any questions that you have, reach out to me, give me a call. We'll have a phone conversation. And knowing Connie, if I say, hey, Connie, do you have 20 minutes? She'll say, sure. And we'll get on the phone with you together, right? And we'll talk to you. And again, if money is stopping you, $1,500, that's like 3 payments, 500 over like, what, like whatever period of time that you work out with Connie, it's totally doable if you think what you spend your money on. So again, this special is for you because you're here watching the show. If you feel called to do it, great, and like, let's talk about it, so yes, Michelle, good. I'm glad you're saying yes with many exclamation points, because this is like, it's time, right? Like, it's time. So reach out to me. So again, QEI, remember that name, because I'm telling you, it's already flying, it's already growing, and it's going to blow your socks what's going to come in 2021. And you're going to wish that you did it. You're going to wish that you did it, because I'm telling you, you're not going to get prices like this, like as it grows and all of that. Like, this is a very rare occurrence, and Connie is generous in doing it for all of you. And Michelle just said she's in. Great. So call me.
Awesome.
Yep. Call me and we'll get you all set up and all of that, because it starts soon. Oh yeah. Why don't we talk about when it starts? We didn't even mention that.
February 3rd. Hey, we're offering 2 programs, y'all. So we have one on February 3rd. It's going to be Wednesday nights from 7 to 8:30. And we're going to have one on Saturday afternoons if you can't do the Wednesday night. So let's fill up the Wednesday night first, then let's go to Saturday, and if Saturday works for you. I really feel like with Chris's people, we're going to fill both of these. So we would like
Chris's people. It makes me just feel so special.
Well, you are, because why would they not do this? I mean, honestly, and come, because this is, and I will tell you, after I did the trainings, I wrote quantum energy infusion to be level 4 of the trainings. It is literally.
She froze again. Darn it. See, look, now I'm banging tables and things are falling over, but you said you created it to be level 4 and then you froze.
To be level 4 of the trainings, because I took the transformational trainings, went bananas, loved it, and realized that the personal energetic technologies that I had available to me, and all the people that took trainings that came to me to have energy work done during, before, and after the trainings, had incredible experiences. I mean, like, amped up from those that other people had. And I went, this is it. This is the ticket. is adding energy work to the trainings. And Chris and Francine, when I brought my vision to them, they were like, yeah, let's do that. And I've been
told, heck yeah. and that's the way it went. And I'll tell you what, so like Michelle, if you're watching this, you're in, you know somebody that's interested, that you're like, oh my God, I want to bring my friend or my brother, my sister. I know tons of people that would do it. I trust your integrity that if you tell them to watch this video, right, to watch this video, and then they want to do it, I trust your integrity, right? That they watch the video and that they're ready to do it, especially you, because I know you, but that goes for any of you that are watching. Like, I trust your integrity because you're my people, like Connie said, that like, if you know somebody that like, oh my gosh, I wish they would have heard this, I wish they would have watched this, share it with them, let them watch the 50 minutes of it, and you know, give me a call, and we'll get them signed up too, because we'll offer it to them with the integrity that they watch. They watch the video.
And we're going to keep this offer open till the 3rd.
Yeah.
So so for some of you, this is a conversation you get to have with yourself, with your spouse, with your whatever, right? With your checkbook. And we're giving you time to do that. And Chris has offered her time to reach out. It's possible to have what I call a strategy session with me. I think Chris is going to give you better information than I am, though, because she is so deep in the work that she's going to give you a really beautiful explanation of what it's like to be in it. I come at it from this direction. She is fully immersed in it.
And I want to thank you. So thank you everyone for tuning in, for being here, for your questions, for your comments. And thank you, Connie, for always being a pleasure to jump on it and be a part of whatever I'm up to. Really, you're always a yes. So, you know, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. And, you know, thank you all for showing up always to my show. Thank you for supporting me. The best way you can support me is to share my videos, to people and on your pages. And you can find, where can they find you, Connie? On Instagram and Facebook, right? QEI?
Yes, Quantum Energy Infusion. So hand at Quantum Energy Infusion. They can find Instagram and Facebook.
So like go follow, go ahead.
And YouTube.
Yeah, and YouTube. So go follow, right? Like, she does these amazing blogs. You can go to the website and sign up to get these amazing blogs, like come in your inbox, and it'll blow your mind, all that good stuff. So again, thank you for being here. We have to end the show because we have to go to class in 8 minutes. we have an energy class in 8 minutes. So like, the show's got to end, y'all, so we can, like, you know, take care of our needs and go to class. So I want to thank you all for being here. And again, reach out to me. Oh, and what we'll do, I almost forgot, we're going to put the link to the special. We're going to put the link to the special in the comments here. Okay, so Mariana is putting the website to Quantum Energy Infusion, but we're going to make sure it'll either be Connie or myself or maybe Rafe or somebody is going to put the special that you click on to get this special pricing offer.
And it's quantumenergyinfusion.com/alive. That's how you get there. quantumenergyinfusion.com/alive.
Yes, and that's the link. And again, hit me up and I'll make sure that you get the link. Okay. So everyone have a fantastic night. Okay. And Connie, what do you want to tell them? What do you always say? Everything is what?
Connie Kean with Quantum Energy Infusion, where everything is energy.
And everyone have a great night on that note. And we'll see y'all soon. Can't wait to hear from you all. Thanks, Connie.